What's up guys, I'm Jake, and today we're going to be making a Google Sheets deduper. So, a little history of how I got to this. I was trying to make these workflows for lead generation, and I kept having the same problem that I was getting, doubles, sometimes triples of the same companies and people that I was looking for. And the dedupe node that they have in here, because you're probably asking, Jake, they have a dedupe node. Well, if you've been using N8N, you know that it sometimes has some problems. And maybe it was the way I make my workflows, I don't know. But my experience has been with this that it does not work every time. And sometimes it either misfires and dedupes people that don't exist, and sometimes it misfires the other way and doesn't actually do people that already do exist. And so I figured, let me just take it in my own hands. I'm using Google Sheets, and I figured out that you can do it with one node, and it's pretty simple here. And so I'll show you how to do it. I'll walk you through it first, and I'll also give you this for free if you just want to download it and follow along to the little instructions I have on the left. So first, you need this endpoint, which is just the HTTP Google APIs.com. And then, spreadsheet, and then this part right here is going to be your spreadsheet ID. So, when you go to Google Sheets, it's going to be this number right here. This is just some campaign I was going for. You can take the information of these people if you want, go for it. I don't really care. But that's the thing that you put right over here. And then you also have to put the colon batch updates at the end. And then, not to be forgotten, that you also need to add credentials. So you need the OAuth2 API through Google Sheets and Google Cloud. You just get that through the Google Cloud console. Wherever it is, should be this one. Yep, you just get through here. You have to make your own project, and you have to do the authorizations, all that stuff. It's kind of pain in the butt. If you're self-hosting, that's what you have to do. From my understanding, you don't have to do it if you're not self-hosting, but I don't really know, because I've only ever self-hosted. But nonetheless, if you guys want a video about how to do that, let me know. And I guess you should take a step back, and if you want a video about HTTP requests and how to do API calls and whatnot, let me know. And so then let's get into the header. So first you're going to have to do content-type, value application-JSON, and then down here is where you put your JSON. And all it is quote, request, quote, colon, all this silly JSON they got here. And it's pretty self-explanatory. You delete the duplicates in the range of this sheet. So it's saying, and the index starts for 0 on JSON, so it's saying you're going for the first sheet. And then you're going to compare it to the first sheet. And the dimensions are just left blank, or dimensions are columns, sorry. And then the start index is going to be the row that you look at afterwards. So for instance, or column, excuse me. For instance, if you want column C, you would say start index 2 and index 3. And then include spreadsheet and response, false. But essentially what this means is that 2 is going to be B, 3 is going to be C, and since its end index is what it actually looks at, and everything in between, but this one is counted as a 0 input. Don't ask me why, that's just how it is. That it'll look at C. So column C is going to be the one that it's going to be deduping off of. And I can show you how this works real quick. Let me go make, let's see, new spreadsheet. Let's just go name, email, number, and then we'll call him Bob, and then his email is going to be bob@bobby.com, and then his number is going to be Bob, except for the 8s. And then we will just make this guy again, right, to show you that it's going to dedupe him. And then we'll go Tim, and then we'll go Tim at timmy.com, and then we'll go 909. I don't know. And I will also have him be deduped, except we're going to quadruple dedupe him to show him that, hey, we will look at every single person, and if there's 4 iterations, 5, 10, 1,000 iterations, they will consolidate all to one. And so this is going to be 1 index 2. So all I do is change this here because I want to dedupe all emails. And then I go ahead and grab this right here. Just switch that out, and we should be good to go. So let's just go ahead and execute workflow. Oh, yes, I hate when it does that. For whatever reason, it has me do this like all the time. It takes 2 seconds, so it's like not a big deal. And there we go. Yep. So Bob is now just Bob, and Tim is now just Tim. They lost all their twins. So that's it, guys. I'll drop a link to the JSON so you guys can download this and just take it for yourself, so you don't have to go through the pain of actually building it out and create all that JSON stuff. But nonetheless, if you got any questions, drop them in the comments, and that's it. Catch you guys later.